We started to grow moringa trees a while ago for food, as you can see. So one day when I was climbing the tree, it had an injury like this one here. And I was climbing it and I felt like an electric shock, almost like an electric fence, you know, from an elephant fence or cattle fence.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so really. So I had the idea, I called my electrician and we measured, and in fact we could measure a current in the tree. Here, please, Fundi. You have to go in the flesh of the tree, and immediately now, that you see, I'm not joking, this tree is currently delivering 25 volts DC. So one day, Fundi and me, we took our electrical wire, so just an electrical wire, round our tree, nicely, like that, tight. Yeah, it helps if before you put your wire, you really scratch the skin of the tree, and it helps if you keep a distance between your wires. You see the scar in the tree?
Yeah.
Where the tree have those scars, that's where they produce the most of power, categorically. Yeah? So that is where you can get up to 280 volt, even AC. But lunchtime, when it requires full sun. Electrical connectors. Now we should be able to measure the current, or we can run a light bulb or a grinder, which we are going to do for you in a second. Okay? So now, of course, I have both wires on. So here, careful. You see that? This is now 220 volt DC. You can check here, there is no wires going to the tree or whatsoever. Even before we figured that in the day we can run a grinder and in the night we can run a light bulb. All our security lights here in our shop, everything here runs off these trees. Now we connect the angle grinder. Here, please connect it for me. So, now you can see it is 2 o'clock lunchtime, bright sunlight. Yeah? So, we will see if we get now an angle grinder to run. Yeah. Now here, oh, this is now serious power, guys. Yeah, this is serious power. Light on. You can charge batteries and you can charge phones. Sign up. Everyone can charge their phones here for free. Yeah. From the power of the tree. That is from mornings 9 o'clock till about 6 in the evening when there is sunset.
You can also wake up a thyroid gland. So underactive thyroid gland, you see, underactive thyroid gland, you can put a cayenne pepper poultice on that, and then you would put it on for a few hours. Now, we had a lady who was so excited about this because she had an underactive thyroid. She was on medication. Today, she is on no medication. It took a bit of work, but eventually she got off her medication, and that's quite a surprise to most people because most people think if they're on the thyroid medication, they're on it for the rest of their life. Her doctor took her off because all her levels became normal because of everything else she was doing. Don't put it on before you go to bed. We started putting it on just in the morning while I was doing the lecture while she was with us. And she said that after about half an hour it got really hot. and then it would settle down a little bit. So can you see what's happening is blood is being drawn into that thyroid gland to wake it up. Remember what blood is? It's the life of the flesh. If someone's got an overactive thyroid gland, students, what would you put on the thyroid gland to slow it down? Ice. That's so simple, isn't it? It's so simple.
What if I told you there was a totally legal mushroom that actually grows brain cells? It contains unique compounds known as neurotrophic factors that are found nowhere else in nature, which have been shown through scientific research the ability to incite the growth and proliferation of neurons. It's called lion's mane and is considered to be kind of a holy grail, because unlike other attempts to find exogenous neurotrophic factors, meaning things we eat, drink, or inject that have these properties, the ones in lion's mane are totally natural, can easily cross the blood-brain barrier, don't degrade quickly, and really do grow on trees.
Can take off your shoes and contact the surface of the earth. And I'm talking about bare feet on soil, dirt, grass, sand. Because earthing and grounding is a very real thing. We actually discharge into the earth. Human beings build up a charge. Do you know that pH, the acid alkaline scale, pH stands for potential hydrogen. It's a charge. It's a complete fallacy that you can get alkaline by drinking alkaline water. That's the biggest marketing myth ever sold to the public. But you can get alkaline by contacting the surface of the earth.
Nothing else will do that. And in hospitals today, they use charcoal for poisoning cases. One girl said to me, I had an overdose and they gave me a choice to have my stomach pumped out or take charcoal. She said, I chose the charcoal. So charcoal absorbs and neutralises poisons. So it can be used internally and it can be used externally. Now charcoal doesn't have a taste. And you can use it if any poison has been ingested. And it can also be used if a person has diarrhea or gastric or bloating. The charcoal, when it's taken, will absorb and neutralise the poisons and can bring a lot of relief. So if ever I had a baby that had a bit of diarrhea, I'd give them a bit of charcoal. And when I got the black nappy, because I didn't use disposable nappy, I knew that my baby was well. Because once that charcoal goes through, it absorbs and neutralises the poisons. So you can use it internally and you can use it externally. You use it externally, again, for cases of poisoning. So it can be used for a bee sting, a ant bite, a snake bite. You don't have many snakes here. We have a few in Australia. Spider bites. Do you have spiders? Oh, maybe we don't need to talk about the charcoal. Wasps, bees, any sting, it's quite incredible. You almost have to experience it to believe it, that it takes the pain out straight away. And the reason it takes the pain out is because it absorbs and neutralises the poisons.
Good evening, everyone. Let me just straighten myself up there a bit. Oh, there we go. Oh, that light got a bit better then. There we are. Yes. I just feel I'm not quite straight. I am. Yeah. Go that way. That's it. Lovely. Lovely. I know why. It's because my camera's not quite straight. How are you, everyone? Good evening. And let me have a look at the comments. Did you like that new start? That's just something new. If people like that, that's the sort of thing that I may be doing in the future, just to get people warmed up and ready to come into the show. I just thought it's just some information. It's inspired by Pete from Pete and Cookie's show. So because on a Wednesday he does like a little compilation of different things. And I just got inspired by it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give that a go. So I gave it a go, and let me know what you thought. Whether you thought that they all worked well. So let's have a look. I'd just like to welcome anyone who's new. I know that BS, I think, is Gonzo Johnny. Am I right, BS? So let me know if that. Give me a yes if that's right. And is my sound okay, everyone? Again, I've got to catch up with the chat because I say stuff to you, and then it is Gonzo Johnny. Hello, mate. Good to see you. You finally made it. Low, Rob's camera is not straight. Wonder, does it have pronouns also? Very good, Jim. Yeah. Did you see Jimmy's Raconteurs News Ukraine Russia show on Saturday? So let's go back up to the top and say hello to people. Hello, Kitty. Hello, Law of Clonoth. Sean Hammer is here. Hello, Sean. Nice to see you, mate. Welcome aboard. And Jimmy, welcome aboard. Johnny Gonzo Johnny is here as well. Who else is here? Miss Blue Sky, hello. Let's going down here. Manda, hello. Jerry's made it again. Hello, Jerry. It's been a long time. Nice to see you. Nice. Hi all, just listening. I shall be wiring some lights off the local trees in work tonight. Yeah, well done. Did you like that? Yeah, did you like that? Free electricity. It's all about health, isn't it? And freedom, and that's what this show is about. It's not just about supplements. David, good evening, David. Welcome aboard. Nice to see you. And who else? Anyone else I missed so far? And thank you very much, Kitty. And Mascara. Good evening, Mascara Snake. Hello. And the Spanish Chicken. His microphone identifies as Jimi Hendrix. Hi, Rob. Hi, folks. Yeah. Yes. Spanish thinks that my microphone, let me see if I can get it down. Look, has got Jimi Hendrix in it. What do you reckon? He's a bit weird, that Spanish. He also likes my titties. I know he does. He's a right little perv. Yeah. And also any of the lurkers as well. James. I wonder if James is lurking there or whether he's not there yet. But if he is, Ninja James, welcome aboard. Anyway, so yeah, hello everyone. First of all, let me just do the legal thing, shall I? My name is Robert. I'm not a doctor, but I am known as Not a Doctor Robert. This show is for fun, entertainment, and information only. If you'd like some proper legal advice about health or anything else, then go and see someone who's legally trained and legally allowed to give you a load of legal nonsense. Thank you very much. There we go. So that's the legal bit out of the way. And then today, so first of all, I just want to do a little wash up. What did you think of, did you like last week's show? Did you like the interview? Any of you who saw last week's show? I had allegedly Dave. Now, don't take the piss. Okay. Yeah. I thought I'd just get that joke in there. Don't take the piss. But what did you think? I mean, personally, I enjoyed Dave. I don't think he wasn't the easiest guest to interview or talk to or to come back with. I thought he was a little bit rigid in his opinions. I mean, I always I'm very open to lots of different things personally, but I just felt like that Dave was quite rigid in his opinions about stuff. Didn't agree with everything he said. Jerry made a very good point in the comments last week. In the after the show had finished, and he watched it back. Jerry made a point about that. He said that you had a lot of placebo effects going on with supplements because he doesn't believe in supplements. Allegedly, Dave doesn't. But like Jerry made the point that you can't kid kids with supplements and with their with saying it's a placebo. I mean, and also I would like to say that the same about animals as well. I thought, because when they've given animals supplements and things like that, animals get better. I spray on my partner. She's got a couple of cats, and one of the cats is has got bad skin issue, and every time we spray her with my magnesium oil that I make, it all clears up. It clearly clears up. So, I mean, I can't encourage her to drink her piss, which I'm sure would make it go away completely. The other thing is, I would like to have got down to asking Dave, what his diet was like and stuff. I mean, I saw a video of him, and also he's not none of us are perfect, are they? But I thought it was a bit unfair. Like, I mean, I had a little drink. Me, I have a little drink occasionally, and I had a little. He goes, look, that's the poison you're drinking there. Well, if I'd been quick enough, I should have said, the same ice cream poison that I saw you eating when we met at the concert, Dave. It's things like that. So there's a little bit of, none of us are perfect, and I think it's pretty difficult to be perfect when it comes to your health. And what I always try and say to people is, if you make small changes in your life, then it will have an effect. It will definitely have an effect, whether you just start taking vitamin C. I mean, that's how I started my changes. It was like, I'll just sort of take some vitamin C, and then I added some fish oils, and then I added something else, and then something else, and then something else. I mean, that's how mine. But small changes, even saying, right, I'm going to give up crap takeaway food because I eat too much of it every week, or I have like 3 takeaways a week. I'm just going to go and have 1 a week, or I'm trying to get back into. Got back into daily walking every day, 20 minutes every day. I'm getting back into that to keep moving and things like that, because Spanish keeps saying that my titties are getting big. So I've got to work on that, because I don't want to keep turning him on. It's becoming a problem. He's Rob, I love those titties. So let's have a look. What's people saying? Gonzo, I'm going to have to keep remembering your name, BS. Gonzo, Johnny says, my diet is very, right, here we are. Let's just say it. My diet's very boring and almost autistic. So much is unhealthy that I stick to that with what I know. Yeah, I mean, again, Gonzo, it's whatever, isn't it? It's what, just making small changes, is the thing. What's Jerry saying here? Dave believes he is originally Irish, and that the people of Ireland are not of Ireland because his name is Murphy. Yeah, exactly, Jerry. He's a bit odd, isn't he, with his opinions? Miss Blue Sky, yeah, I watched it, Rob, and I agree. It was great to have him on, but I definitely didn't agree with all his points. But nonetheless, good interview, and he is welcome to his beliefs. He has done his research too. He has, and I applaud the man for the work he does as well. He's had an extraordinary life, hasn't he? I mean, when I read that that bit at the beginning about the fact that he was meant to be working in one of the Twin Towers, and he didn't get the job or something, and then he got another job opposite and watched the Twin Towers collapsing. I mean, that's just pretty mad, isn't it? Really, it really is. Yeah. Jimmy says, wouldn't worry about Dave too much. He wasn't very articulate in any of his ideas he was trying to address. Yeah, no, I thought he was. I think he was a bit better than that, Jim. I mean, also, I felt that probably what on reflection, I would have stuck to more ideas about like one subject or whatever. Sorry, that was my son telling me he's skating. He's not going to be watching the show, little git. Oh, how rude of him. And Chris is in. Good evening, Chris, and hello to you, sir. And Jerry. Now that's the luck of the Irish he had there. Yeah, Chris is right, as in all right, Chris, all right. Let's have a look. Just bench some weights, you lazy fecker, says Spanish. No, I'm not in the. If you start building up muscles, I'm all right, mate. I feel comfortable. I look all right. I feel comfortable. I'm happy with walking, and chopping wood and things like that. So, No takeaway ever. Oh, I'm a food Nazi. No takeaway ever. Okay, very good on you. What else has been said? And Spanish says, "Good chat. Might not agree on all the points." Yeah, I should have, and I think because you're trying to do so many things, you're trying to look at the chat. You know, I had literally I asked him every question, but I just thought that he'd elaborate a bit more about them, and we did run out of time. So yeah, that's the thing. Let me go up and just see what else is being said. Jimmy says, my lawyer is a good doctor, so best of both worlds. Lucky you, Jim. Anything else being said here? No, I think that's it. I think we're caught up. Let me just go down here. Kendo's in the house as well. Good evening, Kendo. Hello, sir. Welcome aboard. And let me just put in a little start so I know where I read up to. So today, we started the show a bit different. I hope you liked it. Remember, give the show a thumbs up if you don't mind, please. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'm trying to be here every Tuesday and give you a different sort of health show to maybe something you've not experienced before. And I'm just still developing it, really. I'm just trying to do something different to what everyone else does, because that's me. Update on my allotment. Everything's growing really well. My tomatoes are coming on lovely. I've already had loads of raspberries, and I've discovered that we've got different variety of raspberries as well. So that's really nice. There was these really pale coloured ones. They weren't red. They were like orange almost. And I forget the variety name now, because again, I just took these bushes on and I just kept them going when I got my allotment. And they were delicious. They're really delicious. They're really sweet. Also, my courgettes are growing. My squash is growing lovely as well. I had some issues with some black fly, but that's gone. Did a little spraying with some washing up liquid, light washing up liquid, and the ladybugs, they did their job of cleaning them up, and so did the ants. Actually, the ants were feasting off them. Ants get a bad rap, but you know what? Ants were pretty good at clearing up the green fly. I'm sure Jimmy will be able to tell me as well and agree with that comment. Jimmy says, if you're not going to cover Ukraine, Rob, I'm out. Yeah, if you want your Ukraine news, contact Jimmy's show on Saturday night. I'm sure Jimmy will be discussing with us whether, and we need to discuss whether he's sticking with it, his Saturday show for now or what. Gonzo Johnny, now that's what I want to, my own garden grown food. Yeah, Gonzo, well, I've got a flat, you see, so I've got no garden, and I took on an allotment, and my spuds, but the ground is dreadful. I'm going to put a lot of horse shit all over the ground. I've got loads of bags of it, so every time I dig something up now, I'm putting loads of horse manure into it to really try and improve the soil. Because they took away all the topsoil when they created the allotment. It was built alongside, or it was the land alongside the doctor's surgery where I live, and they just took away all the topsoil, so all the good stuff was, and then it was just left with crap. Jimmy says ants are the worst containers of are the worst controllers of greenfly, Rob. They just farm them but won't clear them. Clear the problem. Oh, is that right? I thought they were eating them. What do they do with them then? They just like, right, come on, come this way. That's it. There's some lovely flowers here. Come on. I'm in control. I'm an ant. Come on. Oh dear. Oh, shut up. Fucking hell. What's my stupid bloody... I need to shut this down. Excuse me. Just 1 second. Close window. Right, there we are. just closed my Telegram because I keep getting they shag 'em, Rob. Says Spanish. Put some Kendo says put some blood and bone meal in there too, Rob. I have got some, Ken. Yep, yeah, I'm going to. I've got a big box of it, and I'm also, I feed the plants liquid seaweed and things like that. So I'm trying to be as organic as I possibly can. It's not easy though, is it? It really isn't. I mean, yeah, and isn't the weather a bit poo? 1 minute, it's like really warm. Like tonight, we've got rain here tonight, and I mean, some nights it's roasting. I've had to have the fan on because I live in a multi-story flat. So I've got my main rooms are down here, and then you go upstairs to my bedroom, and also you have to. I'm above garages, so it's an odd setup. So I'm literally my bedroom's in the roof, and it gets bloody roasting. And this thing is still giving me notifications, and I'm getting fed up with it. But never mind. I'll have to, just bear with it for now. Let's have a look at this. Right. Someone just sent me a message there. I'm going to ignore that. Yeah. So tonight's show, I'm also going to try and slip in a cheeky tune about halfway through the show. I mean, I've been waffling on what with the beginning being a bit different. I'm going to try and do a Pete and Cookie and put in let's get rid of that comment as well and bring this one. There we go. And yeah, and slip in a cheeky tune. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. See if you can guess. But tonight's show, let me go to my notes then. So we've done talked about the day of the interview. I've given you the allotment update. And so this week's stories, I've got supermarket chain refuses to install self-checkout as they limit human interaction. I really like that story. Pharma giants pour millions of pounds into NHS to boost drug sales. This is a disgusting story. We've also got thyroid cancer concerns regarding the new slimming drug Ozempic and Wegovy. And I'm a nutritionist. 5 foods you didn't know could boost your eyesight. And lastly, how probiotics, fish oil pills help to tackle depression, and also maybe a cheeky little quiz as well. So there we go. So let's go on to the first story then. Right, and this is I'm going to go for the main story that I wanted to go with was this one, which was in the Guardian. So let's present this to you. And I'll come back to you now, have a chat with you after this. I'm going to also read the story, and then there's going to just pull out some key pointers that I think are really good talking points. So share the screen. Right, okay. Here we go. So let's take myself. Okay, so let's share that. There I am. Okay. Should I take myself out? Okay, take two. Sorry about that. I didn't realise that sound would go. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got it. 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 You don't need to keep ringing me. I'll start again. All right. All right. I screwed up, okay? I'm only human, said the Dalek as he climbed off the dustbin. Pharmaceutical giants are pouring tens of millions of pounds into struggling NHS services, including paying the salaries of medical staff and funding the redesign of patient treatment as they seek to boost drug sales in the UK, the Observer can reveal. Drug firms are simultaneously funding groups that lobby for greater investment in their disease areas, and in some cases are paying generous consultancy fees to influential healthcare professionals, including GPs who have worked as clinical leads for NHS England and have received as much as $480,000 each from industry since 2019. The spending is revealed in an investigation that lays bare the growing role of Big Pharma in the UK health sector, with analysis of more than 300,000 drug company transactions since 2015 showing a surge in spending on activities other than research and development. Payments to UK health professionals and organisations, including donations, sponsorship, consultancy fees and expenses, reached a record 200 million in 22, excluding research and development, with companies seeking to promote lucrative drugs for obesity, diabetes and heart conditions among the biggest spenders. The total spending was almost double the 108 million paid by the drugs industry in 2015, whilst payments to healthcare organisations in the same period nearly tripled to 156.5 million. The payments include more than 29 million in funding to NHS trusts, as well as millions more to GP practices and companies which support NHS care. A further 43.7 million was paid to doctors, nurses, pharmacists and admin staff. I just can't believe this. The rise in spending raises concerns about the growing influence of pharmaceutical companies in the NHS as it reaches its 75th anniversary milestone. Amid record pressure on services, drug giants say closer collaboration can help deliver major benefits to patients. But project documents reveal many of the partnerships are expected to lead to a boost in sales for the companies, fueling questions about conflicts of interest. David Rowland, director of Centre for Health and Public Interest think tank, warned that cash-strapped NHS trusts could not afford to be naive about these deals with Big Pharma. Absolutely. They are certainly not providing this funding as an act of charity, he said. In some cases, drug firms have been granted a direct role in shaping patient care in the NHS services that prescribe their products, including through projects that let them oversee the redesign of treatment pathways for diseases including obesity, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, cancer, asthma, and rare disorders. Other companies are paying the salaries of pharmacists, nurses, and other healthcare staff to work in NHS teams. In one case, the drug maker Eli Lilly has partnered with a major London trust to help optimize the multidisciplinary services that provide care for patients with diabetes, obesity, and heart conditions. Corporate documents show the project from the Royal Free in London aim to implement a new model of care and to optimize treatment and triage patients to the newly designed secondary care team, with outcomes including a reduction in waiting times. Lilly may benefit from an increase in patients prescribed Lilly medications, the documents add. Lilly makes drugs for diabetes and is seeking approval for its obesity drug, Mounjaro, a rival to the recently approved Wegovy injections, which I'm going to be talking about as well. Records show it spent 3.5 million on payments to the NHS organisations in 2022, up from 147,000 in 2018. The company said all payments were publicly declared in line with industry codes of practice, adding that it believed in working closely with UK partners to ensure people can access the most effective new medicines, and that its NHS work had helped cut waiting times and support post-pandemic recovery. Another major maker of drugs, diabetes drugs, Sanofi, has partnered with the NHS organisations to review and improve treatment services. A potential benefit is an increase in sales. As a result, pathway changes. Some appropriate patients may be prescribed products in line with local or national guidance. One project document says Sanofi said its all projects were transparent and ethical, and that it shared a common goal with NHS in improving outcomes to patients. So it's just going on here, on and on and on. One prominent doctor, that's Dr. Yasif Javid, a Northampton GP and former NHS England regional clinical lead, was the largest individual beneficiary of money from pharmaceutical firms in 22, receiving, get this, £132,390 in fees and expenses. Disclosure UK records show that he has been paid £483,561 since 2019. Javed has appeared in sponsored presentations for medical colleagues to promote the benefits of certain diabetes drugs, including those made by firms from which he has received payments. Javed said he had voluntarily opted to appear on the Disclose UK database. He always correctly disclosed his interest, and his sponsored educational sessions promoted evidence-based and guideline recommendations, uses of treatments. Yeah, I mean, this is going on and on and on. But lastly, it says NHS England said collaborations with industry help patients benefit from faster access to innovative treatments, and that it was not unusual for industry to provide funding to support services delivery in areas such as improving cardiovascular health, tackling infectious disease, or rolling out innovative cancer therapies. It added that strict safeguards were in place for managing conflicts of interest. I think that they're talking a load of horse manure, and it should all go on my allotment personally. This is disgusting. When I worked for an NHS trust, okay, every year they used to, let me stop sharing this. So every year they used to try and encourage as many NHS staff to get the flu jabs, okay? And their target was 75%, 70%, I think it was 70% uptake, okay? And then, they had what you'd call flu champions, right? And they'd all be going around going, come on, we've got a session on today. Come on, come on, come on. And one day I found out, because I was working with a health group within the trust, you know, trying to encourage people to be healthy. That's me, you know. And then they started really talking and pushing this whole flu jab thing and everything. And then it slipped out that they had to get to 70%, because I was wondering, why are they pushing it and really, really pushing it? They had to get to 70%, because if they didn't, guess what? They lost funding of £230,000. That's one NHS trust. So if they didn't achieve their target of 70%, they would lose about nearly £250,000 in funding, 230, something like that. I mean, that was it for me anyway. I just had enough, because I knew that these groups weren't about trying to be healthy or giving people alternative choices and things like that. It was fundamentally about trying to promote flu champions and things like that. You know, it was disgusting. Let me just read you again, just very briefly, some of the key points that I pulled out on that document. They seek to boost drug sales in the UK. Oh, let me just drink this. Hang on. They seek to boost drug sales in the UK. Drug firms are simultaneously funding groups that lobby for greater investment in their disease areas. Payments to UK health professionals and organisations, including donation, sponsorship, fees and expenses, reached a record 200 million in 22, double the 108 paid to the drugs industry in 2015. The payments include more than 29 million in funding to NHS trusts. Now, tell me that's not a conflict of interest. You know, we all know about this. We all know about this. Look at Mr. Mr. Gates. You know, the gates of hell. He's funding everything. Do you ever hear a bad word said about him? You know? Oh, no, I don't think we do, actually. I don't think we ever do. You know, and that's a perfect example of it. Partnerships are expected to lead to a boost in sales for for the companies, fueling questions about conflicts of interest. In some cases, drug firms have been granted a direct role in shaping patient care in NHS services that prescribe their products. In some cases, the decision to partner with the NHS where it is under greater pressure appears to be part of a strategy. NHS England said collaborations with industry help patients benefit from faster access to innovative treatments. Strict safeguards were in place for managing conflicts of interest. That's what I say to that. What do you say? What have you been saying? Spanish. Gates of hell was the first thing I see. Legal pushers. Yeah, legal drug pushers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, good evening, Tony. Welcome. Tony's here. I saw an image of Hugh Edwards' arse. I don't know who you're talking about there, Tony. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. Actually, Tony, do you want to? You shared some really good news yesterday on Pete and Cookie's show, so I don't know if you want to share it here. What else has been said? Anything else been said? Or you've just been chatting whilst I've just been trying to read to you with my microphone off, and I didn't realise. Yeah, Chris makes a good point. Why don't they just mind their own business? Because they're legal drug pushers, aren't they? They are legal drug pushers. There we go. Tony said, good evening, Feckers. Good evening. You missed my amazing start, Tony. It was inspired by Pete. Is Pete in the house? Probably not. People just love taking drugs. It's getting worse and worse, Chris. Honestly, when I was a diabetic eye screener, people just didn't want to change their habits. They just wanted to come in. They wanted to know that their eyes were okay. They weren't going to go blind, and that they can, if they keep taking the drugs, they can keep eating their bad foods, and everything will be fine. It'll all be fine. Don't worry about that. It'll be fine. And Gonzo Johnny says, and here, take a pill from our sponsors. Good point. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Yeah, and a reference to me losing my voice and taking myself out. Yeah, very good. Very good. I was reading it. Yeah, I was reading it. Let's get these. Yep. Jimmy says. Right. First of all, Chris says we should send all these psychopaths on the trip to the Titanic Olympic. Jimmy says anyone stupid enough to subscribe to any of these treatments like that deserved the service they get. It is a happy hunting ground to profit off the uneducated. It is wrong, probably. Buyer beware. Well, I think everyone learned the lesson, Jim, didn't they? In the lockdown period, that's a few companies got very, very rich. David says, I'm on various medications, about 8 different ones. David, if there's a lot of good people in this place. If you want any advice, or any pointers about how to maybe get yourself off them. I don't know what your problems are. You don't have to share them here. Or you can just come and have a chat in the after chat. Remember, we do an after chat show as well here. So I will post the link, and we can have myself and 9 other people in the after chat. It's not always completely full, so please feel free if you want to jump in. Maybe we'll get Gonzo Johnny to jump in and see him as well. No, I'm not going to read some of those comments out about the BBC. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's do another story, shall we? I like this one, and I'm going to share it with you. So go back, but this time I'm going to keep myself in, so you can hear me talking the story. Right, present, share screen. Okay, I like this. So, supermarket chain refuses to install self-checkout as they limit human interaction. Amid a difficult American economy and suffering job market, a regional grocery chain announced a decision on Monday that pleasantly shocked customers. Unlike most supermarket mega chains, Sparkle Markets, give them a big cheer and a round of applause, which is based in eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, will not be implementing any self-checkout machines. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about something as well to do with Sainsbury's. Many big grocery brands have decided to phase out their cashiers and replace them with self-checkout machines, wrote President Vincent Fury Jr. in a statement posted to Facebook. They believe limiting human interaction in the future is the future. They believe limited human interaction is the future of retail shopping, but Fury believes there are benefits to employing real people to work as cashiers. Employing our neighbours not only benefits this company, but it also benefits our communities, he wrote. In times like this, jobs are more important than ever. We value the person at the register. We hope you do as well. Helping one another just cannot be replaced. Customers took to the comments on Facebook posts to express their gratitude for the decision. Thank you for caring for both your customers and employees, wrote one person. Totally agree. Thank you for keeping the self-checkout out of your store. Your employees are always helpful and kind, said another one. And that's it. So there we go. Let me just stop sharing that. So what do you think about that? Isn't that great? I think that's a great story. And that's the sort of thing. That's the sort of thing that's giving two fingers up to the WEF and stuff like that, and where they're trying to take us. But I really like that story. And here's my link to that story. I was in Sainsbury's the other day, and I suddenly noticed that the senior staff in Sainsbury's have got cameras. They've got cameras on them now. So I said to them, I said, "What? Why have you got cameras?" I said, "Are you recording me now?" And she said, "Oh, no, I'm not recording you now." She said, "It's just." I said, "Well, why have you got them?" She said, "Oh, it's for our protection, to protect the employees, and because people can get very abusive towards the staff sometimes." And I went, "Right, okay. So why do you need a camera?" "Well, we can record it, for evidence." And I went, "But it's not a crime to be abusive." I said, "You can just ban people. It's not a crime." And she said, "Well, sometimes they can threaten people as well." I said, "Okay, well, threatening behaviour is not great." And I would agree with that. Maybe at that point, if someone's saying, "I'm going to smash your face in" or whatever, and then maybe it's a good point that you need to bring the police in. But my point here was, and I'm sure you'll all agree with this, there's cameras everywhere in the store. And I know for a fact that those cameras are also recording sound. I mean, they're doing everything. So why on earth, right, are they now putting cameras on the staff? This is just 1984 is going mad. And so in the end, right, there was a cashier next to this supervisor that I was talking to, and she was quite young, this girl, but you could see she was getting a bit wound up of me just trying to inquire as to why this is happening. And she said, okay then, is that all right then?" And I went, "Yeah, of course it's all right." but I'm just explaining to you what my concern is, why I'm concerned here, what's going on. I don't like and again, I don't want to use words and describe what she was like and stuff like that. But again, it was a typical someone that wasn't, that probably watched a lot of TV, spent a lot of time maybe on TikTok and social media and stuff like that. And I just thought this is getting ridiculous. And if I can, I'm going to try and avoid going to places like that, like Sainsbury's, etc. Because and also now they've got these things in this Sainsbury, and I forgot. But I don't, if I have to go in there in an emergency or whatever, or because I forgot something, then I will use it. But if you go to a self-checkout, right, you have to have a till receipt. And what you have to do with the till receipt, as you're going out the self-checkout, you have to scan it to get the gates to open. So you can't, the gates won't open. So if, let's say, for example, you wanted to not have a till receipt because you think, well, I don't want more paper. There's, we've got enough masks left over from the pandemic that's created the planet into a mess. But let's not talk about that. I don't want more paper. So, yeah, I don't want a receipt. Thank you very much. You go to walk out and the gates are shut because it's saying, come on, scan your receipt here. Do you know what I do? I just don't pick up the receipt and I just push the fucking gates open because I don't give a fuck. And it went, da, 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 and I'm going, come on then, where's the police? Where's security? That I've done wrong. You've got the evidence there. All your cameras can see I've paid for my goods. My debit card tells me. Come on, these people. And there was this American guy who was standing there, and he was going. He's going. It didn't give me a receipt, and he's standing there, and he's standing with the cashier, saying, "I don't know what to do," because I said, "Just push it open, mate." I said, "No one's gonna hurt you," and there's so many program people that would just do as they're told. I can't go through that gate. The big alarm might go off, and the bad man might come and get me because I didn't pay for my goodies. Honestly, it is getting ridiculous. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous, Kitty. That is ridiculous. The supermarket's doing that for getting out. Big brother, yeah, it is. Jimmy says it has become so complicated, Rob, dealing with the public. Loads of cunts are out there trying to screw everyone. It seems like a good idea for Star to have a camera record of dealing with arseholes. It seems like a good idea for Star to have a camera. I disagree with you, Jim. Jim, if they've got cameras everywhere else, why do they need another camera, mate? Why do they need another camera? Unless I'm reading your thing wrong, but I really don't think it's a really good point. It's unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary. And again, I'm going to record you. You're acting in a threatening way. Well, it's already been recorded up there, mate. What do we need to record more for? So that's that anyway. Anyway, how are you all? You all right? Jimmy says there's a lot to be said for getting robbed by a human face and a smile, not a service computer can provide. Yep. David says, he says he's been on a lot of medications for 30 years now. I really don't know. I've been on them for 30 years. Oh, fair enough, David. Let's have a look. David says smoking dope helps me. Yep, it used to help me. Used to chill me out. I don't do it anymore. But everyone to their own. I think I found when I was smoking the ganj, it was probably the tobacco that really made me a bit more difficult. I found that it was probably the tobacco that made me more stressy. So you'd have a joint, but then you'd want another one because of that whole addictive stuff that's going on. You know, that's what I found. Anyway, that's what I found. Yeah. So what else? Let's share another story with you. So regarding that other story about drugs, about companies providing trusts with lots of financial help. Here's another one. So this is from Zero Hedge. Thyroid cancer concerns raised regarding active ingredient in popular drugs Ozempic and Wegovy. Now, Wegovy has just been, it's just been approved in this country. So this is from June 27th. The EMA, the European Medical, has issued a drug safety signal regarding the potential risk of thyroid cancer associated with certain classes of medications that include semaglutide, the active ingredient in the widely used drugs Ozempic, approved for type 2 diabetes, and Wegovy, approved for obesity. The medications in question are glucan-like peptides receptor agonists. Their manufacturers, including Novo Nordisk, AstraZeneca, Eli Lilly, and Sanofi, all these companies I've talked about, must submit supplementary information by July 26, 23. A safety signal does not necessarily imply a direct causal relationship between a medicine and the reported adverse event. The purpose of assessing safety signals is to determine whether such a causal link exists between the medication and the reported adverse event. Novo Nordisk is aware of the signal and the request by EMA and will deliver a thorough assessment of all relevant data to expedite this topic. Lars Otto Anderson Lange, media relations of the company, said in a statement to the Epoch Times. According to Lange, the products, including semaglutide, have been available in the market for over a decade, and the safety data gathered from clinical trials and post-marketing surveillance have not shown any conclusive evidence linking them to thyroid cancer. Furthermore, Lange highlighted important limitations in the study that raised concerns, referring to nested case control analysis published in Diabetes Care in February 23. These limitations include the absence of validated case identification, inadequate differentiation of recurrent events, potential misclassification of events, and unconfirmed drug exposure. Spontaneous reports, clinical studies, or scientific literature can trigger EMA's declaration of a safety signal. The case control analysis was conducted by a group of French researchers who analysed data from the French National Healthcare Insurance System database and observed an increased risk of thyroid cancer amongst individuals using these drugs, particularly after 1 to 3 years of treatment. Then Diabetes Care also published 2 commentaries on the study. One highlighted limitations, suggesting that detention bias could be an alternative explanation for the observed moderate increase in thyroid cancer. There we go. The US Food and Drug Administration has advised people with a family history of thyroid cancer against taking Wegovy. I wonder if that will also be the advice given by the British Medical Association, the BMA. Be interesting to know. Spanish is asking David some questions there. Spanish says, good people do the right thing. Simples. Miss Blue Sky, explore. So let's leave that up. Exploitation, plain and simple. They know we need the essentials. That's why they know people will follow whatever big bro shit they implement. Buy in small local shops, support your corner shops. It's a great point, but I mean, like they're going, aren't they? The small shops are going because they can't afford to run small shops anymore because of the costs. Amanda makes a very good point. We are the most watched nation in the world with CCTV, apparently. Yep. Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's a really good point, Tony. We must be governed by voyeuristic. We must be governed by voyeuristic scumbags to have so many cameras on us. And this I really like. We need a personal device that jams the cameras. Yeah, I certainly know what to do when the revolution starts. What to do with those cameras, if you know what I mean. Oh, good evening, Earache. Good evening. Earache's made a point here. One way to get around the camera is to wear a mask. Round and round we go. Yep. Very good. Yep. Very good. 9:05 for those of you who need a time update. And hello to all the people that are watching from the replay. And if you like the show, please hit the like button, everyone. And subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And also put in a comment if you want. Not just in the live chat, because if you're watching the show on replay or anything like that, and you want to make a really good point, please make a good point. I try and always reply to anyone who makes a comment. I try and do that. Let's do another story here. Let's present this. Share screen. I'm a nutritionist. These are the 5 foods you didn't know could boost your eyesight. Vitamins A, C, and E, and B2 also support eye health and help prevent against disease. Zinc and copper in meat protect your eyes against sun damage. Nutritionists say kale and spinach keeps your eyes able to see images, read, and also drive. We have all heard the saying that eating carrots will help you see in the dark, but they are not only food that can boost your eyesight. Just as we may eat to nourish our minds, we need to help nourish our vision too, says Dr. Emma Derbyshire, a Surrey-based public health nutritionist. Globally, at least 2.2 billion people have impaired vision. At least 1 billion cases could have been prevented or addressed, says the World Health Organization. She stresses that eating the right fruits and vegetables is key to getting the vitamins and minerals needed to support eye health. She reveals the foods you should be eating to nourish your eyes. Spinach, cavolo, nero, and kale. These are the dark leafy veg. Munching leafy greens such as kale, spinach, and cavolo nero is essential for eye health, says Derbyshire, who is also an advisor to eye supplement company MacuShield. Now, that I would say that it probably is a little bit of an advert as well. But I would actually recommend MacuShield for anyone, even just as a supplement, because MacuShield is similar to the eye supplement that I take, and it's got lutein and zeaxanthin in it, as well as some vitamin C. And this is what feeds your retina and your macula. This is because vegetables containing carotenoids called lutein and zeaxanthin. The body deposits these carotenoids at the macula, the most sensitive part of the retina, which provides the sharp central vision that is vital for reading and driving. But the body cannot make macular carotenoids on its own, so needs to consume them through diet or supplements. As well as leafy vegetables, tomatoes, sweet potatoes, broccoli, courgettes, and orange peppers provide lutein and zeaxanthin, says Dr. Derbyshire. By the way, I made a great Spanish omelette this week with one of my courgettes, my yellow courgettes. It was gorgeous, one of the best I've ever made. Some people call it a frittata. Eating oranges and broccoli could be key for maintaining eye health with age, says Derbyshire, for they contain vitamin C, which is needed for the body to produce and maintain collagen, a protein that gives your eyes their structure. It's also great for your skin. Collagen is really important for the eyes as it basically holds the eyes together and helps protect them, she said. Remember, you can't get vitamin C. We're one of only 4 humans and 3 other species cannot produce a vitamin C. Animals produce their own vitamin C, but we can't. So you have to supplement with vitamin C. And if you say eating an orange or an apple every day is enough, it isn't. It really isn't. That's just my opinion, by the way, because I'm not a doctor, remember. She noted that the vitamins also protects the macular part of the retina located at the back of the eye from oxidative damage. Harm to the body cells and tissues. The macula is responsible for our color vision and seeing fine detail. Bell peppers, citrus fruits, green vegetables such as broccoli and Brussels sprouts all contain vitamin C, Dr. Derbyshire said. Red meat, dairy and pulses. Zinc, copper and vitamin A are vital for healthy eyes. Experts also say eating seafood such as shellfish as well as liver and whole grains provide copper, whilst red meat, dairy and pulses contain zinc. Vitamin A is found in full-fat milk, eggs and carrots, which famously are supposed to help people see in dim light. Zinc is responsible for transporting vitamin A from the liver to the eye to produce melanin, a protective pigment in the eyes. Both copper and zinc are all involved in retinal function. Melanin not only provides pigmentation to your skin and hair, it gives the color to your eyes. If this substance that absorbs harmful ultraviolet lights from the sun, protecting your cells from sun damage. Red meat and seafood also keep the retina healthy, which helps to translate what you see from light to an image. Adding nuts, seeds, and oils to your diet can give your eyes the needed vitamin E boost to keep disease at bay. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant that helps protect the eye cells from oxidation and damage. Oxidative stress, which is an imbalance between antioxidants and free radicals in your body, can accelerate retinal diseases such as glaucoma, diseases that cause vision loss, and retinal vein occlusion, which causes blurry vision. Eating enough vitamin E, which is an antioxidant, can help maintain a healthy retina. It's found in sunflower oil, sunflower seeds, almonds, peanuts, spinach, pumpkin, and red bell pepper. Mushrooms, yogurt, and cereal. Riboflavin, also known as vitamin B2, is vital for keeping your eyes as well as the nervous system and skin healthy. Found in milk, eggs, fortified breakfast cereals, mushrooms, and plain yogurt, just like vitamin E, too can protect your eyes against cells from damage. Vitamin B2 is essential for a huge number of biochemical processes, including oxidation reduction reactions, so it helps to protect cells from damage, says Dr. Derbyshire. She warns that not only a third of adults eat their 5 fruit and vegetables per day, meaning many people are deficient in key nutrient areas that can help our eyes, including vitamin B2. There we are. Look after your eyes, everyone. So it's really important. You've only got 2 of them. Oh, my sister's here, and she's revealed I have glaucoma, and I eat very healthy diet. Yeah, it can be something that is hereditary as well, Marin. I think we've discussed this. Glaucoma or glaucoma is pressure in the back of the eyes. And yeah, it is important to take to keep up supplements if you can. One thing that is very good for glaucoma, but not that my sister would take it, I know that, and that is weed. It's meant to be very good for the eyes. But yeah, supplements can help as well. It really can. What's it? Anyone been saying? You're just all having a chat on your own here, aren't you? Um, 21:12. Should we have a little break? We're going to make a cup of tea. I'm going to try something a bit different now. I'm going to try and play a song I'm going to be as cheeky as Pete and Cookie. So it's a very short song, but it could get me into trouble. So if the stream does go down, just stay with me and it should come back. But I might get a warning. But hey, you got to live on the edge occasionally. So I'm going to put something up. Where is it? Where is it? And I'm going to play you a tune. I shall be back very shortly. Here's a clue to the tune. Did you like that? I saw Spanish moan. I saw him moan. Let me just take this away. Hang on 1 second. I saw Spanish moan. Bloody hate the Beatles. It's not about the Beatles. It's Dr. Robert, isn't it? You know? I must still be on then. Hang on, let's have a look at the comments. What are people saying? Looks like he's giving us the yeah. It did look like that, didn't it? I thought that. I was going to put the lyrics up, but I saw that instead, and I liked it. My sister's saying it's very hot there, 30 degrees. Spanish, hate the fucking Beatles. Yeah, 3 pentagrams. Yeah, I know that they're associated and it's all dodgy, but it was the song, man. It's like Dr. Robert. You know, come on, give me a break. Yes, Spanish, you're just recalling my saying. Like, fuck, he's gone. Yes, I know. It's not George Michael. Oh, dear, I love it. Controversy even. Oh, dear. You're still not a doctor. No, I'm not. Exactly right. Anyway, I've got a drink now. What are you drinking? Spanish, what are you drinking? I've got a pina colada. Do you like pina colada? Getting caught in the rain. If you're not into junk food, if you're into champagne. The pina colada song. That's a great tune, isn't it? Spanish is on the Holston pills. What are you all on? Cup of tea, is it? Is it a cup of coffee? Jimmy, what beer are you drinking? Come on. What beer are you drinking? Funny cup of tea, Robert. I know. Come on. I don't drink a lot, actually. Yeah, it's just nice to have a drink occasionally. Yeah. Jimmy's drinking pints of urine. I like that. That's very good. I bet my sister's just drinking water in hot Spain. Can you send that weather over here? We did like it. We did like the hot weather here. If you like making love at midnight on an allotment. Very good. Kitty's got mocha cold brew with almond milk. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Don't forget, we've got I'm going to keep you waiting. We've got a little quiz. We've got a quiz at the end of the show, and we've got some more stories as well coming up. More stories coming up. I don't know if we're going to even hit the 2 hours tonight. Not that it matters. It's just it's the health show, and it is what it is. I will put the invite link up. Actually, I'm going to copy that. So anyone wants to jump on at the end, I'm going to post that there for anyone. Remember, the stories that I'm talking, I've linked them in the show notes as well. So if you want if you do want to go back and look at them, they are in the show notes. You got it hotter tomorrow. Yeah, also, Marion, she says, look, it's welcome. Unbearable. We've got it hotter tomorrow with Kalima ABD hot winds. Yeah. And I saw also the floods that were happening in Spain, the flash floods as well. So it's a right mishmash of weather going on there. Let's present another story to you. Let's have a look. Why can't I see that one? Why can't I see that story? Oh, there it is. A study suggests good bacteria can make antidepressants more effective. Our expert reveals how probiotics and fish oil pills helped him tackle depression. Vitamin D can improve symptoms of depression, as can omega-3 fatty acids. I've talked about these before. What causes depression? For a long time, we used to think it was purely an imbalance of brain chemicals, but this was firmly rebutted last year by researchers who reviewed decades of findings. The team from University College London concluded that psychiatry profession must bear some responsibility for propagating an unsupported theory and the mass use of antidepressant drugs that has accompanied it. This story made headlines worldwide. But then a few weeks ago, this view was challenged by another set of leading psychiatrists who argued that this review was flawed and should never have been published in the first place, as it was dangerous because people who need antidepressants may stop taking them. So what's going on, and what does this mean for patients? And also would stop a lot of money going to big pharmaceutical companies. As an A&E doctor, on every shift, I see the worsening state of our nation's mental health, depression, anxiety, self-harm and suicide. I also see increasing numbers of patients who take antidepressants. Something is amiss here. Surely, if they were treated and well managed on medication, we shouldn't be seeing increasing numbers turning up in A&E. I also know, as someone who's previously been on antidepressants myself, that they're not the whole answer, but part of a package. And a recent study points to an exciting new add-on approach using probiotics that certainly helped me. More on that later. Pharmaceutical companies design their products based on biology. The theory is that increasing specific chemicals in the brain will lower depression and anxiety. The most targeted chemical for addressing this is serotonin, which carries messages between nerve cells in your brain. Drugs such as Prozac increases serotonin levels in the brain, which is expected to reduce depressive symptoms. And in previous episodes of the Healthfreedom show, I've talked about antidepressant drugs as well. So if you want to do that, look that up, please do so. But the more we learn about depression, the more this biological oversimplified explanation becomes unfit for purpose. There are many psychological factors which are known to play a role, such as inflammation. And whenever we look at any condition, we must look at it in three dimensions: the biological, psychological, and the social. They are interconnected, and treatments should be targeted at all these areas. For example, someone with a heart attack needs a physical treatment such as a stent, but also psychological, so they stop smoking, for instance, and social, to encourage them to exercise and improve their diet. Good points. This three-pronged approach is especially true for depression. We know that simple talking therapies such as CBT can be incredibly powerful for depression. Exercise is also known to be one of the best antidepressants and crucial for any treatment of mental health condition in the patient's social interactions and support. But sometimes medications are also needed. Even if the serotonin theory is wrong, there is evidence that drugs do help some people. For others, they simply don't work and have potential side effects. A study published last month by South London Maudsley NHS Foundation Trust, one of the preeminent psychiatry hospitals, revealed some potentially important data on the impact of probiotics on depression. Admittedly, it was a small study of only 100 patients, but it didn't hit the national headlines. This week's column could be called What should we have made the health headlines? Possibly because it didn't have the backing of big pharma PR teams. But from my reading, it could help significantly change the way we manage depression in the future. There have been 7 previous high-quality studies on probiotics for depression. The numbers in each trial were small, but when the results were collated and analysed last year, the Journal of Clinical Medicine, they showed that probiotics had a significant positive impact on patients' levels of depression, as shown by reductions in their depression scores. But one problem was that many of the studies were performed outside of Western countries, and as a dietary supplement, this is key. Three were by researchers in Iran, where the diets may have been very different, for instance, and so the results may not be applicable to the patients here. But the study published last month in the Journal of American Medical Association of Psychiatry is different. It's the first of its kind in UK patients showing improvements in levels of depression and 8 weeks of taking probiotics containing 14 strains of good bacteria compared with a placebo. Importantly, the treatments had no side effects. Interestingly, this trial also showed improvements in anxiety as well as depression. The study involved patients already on antidepressants and who remained on them. So how could good bacteria help with depression? The first scientific evidence that the bowel and the brain are connected came in 2004. Mice raised in sterile environments, so they lacked hormonal normal gut bacteria, showed exaggerated psychological reactions to stress, such as increased heart rate, but these reactions stopped when they were moved out of the sterile environment and ingested normal food, so their bowels contained bacteria again. This was the beginning of psychobiotics, harnessing the beneficial impact of good bacteria, probiotic supplements, as well as prebiotics, food sources that encourage their growth, such as kefir, on mental ill health via the so-called gut-brain axis. We now know that gut bacteria are involved in the regulation of numerous systems in the body, including inflammation, with studies showing that probiotics and prebiotics significantly lower the levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation. Depression is associated with higher CPR levels, and it may be that these psychobiotics help lower the levels of inflammation. They are not only nutritional supplement that may have an impact. Other major reviews in the past few years, such as Nature, have shown that vitamin D can improve symptoms of depression, as can omega-3 fatty acids, i.e. fish oils, compared with a placebo. Both of these are thought to have be anti-inflammatory. So where does this leave us? Depression is an awful condition. Antidepressants can be life-saving, but these studies have shown that supplements such as fish oil, probiotics, and vitamin D can help if you're on antidepressants. A number of years ago, when I was going through troubled time in my personal life, I was prescribed antidepressants. I'd persuaded my GP to give them to me. It was then, I believe, the purely chemical theory. My views have since changed. I have a family history of mental health problems, and whether I was suffering from depression, a medical condition needing treatment, or I was just miserable because of my personal circumstances, I'm still not sure. I definitely felt better on antidepressants, but I found the side effects difficult, such as weird electric shock feelings and sexual dysfunction. Within 6 months, I wanted to come off them, but without putting my mental health at risk. I looked at the evidence of what else I could do. There is very good evidence that, if needed, weight loss can help. And in all honesty, I was overweight. Losing 10 kilograms by cutting out processed and junk food from my diet helped me enormously, both physically and emotionally. I also cut back on alcohol intake and started doing a lot more exercise, with a 5K run first thing every day. Both of these lifestyle changes have good evidence for reduced levels of depression and anxiety, and within weeks, I noticed a difference. I also take a daily fish oil, vitamin D, as well as probiotics and prebiotics. I felt better and was able gradually to come off the antidepressants within a few months. I hope I'll never need them again. I have continued to use these supplements despite there being no evidence that they can prevent depression. To prove this would take studies with thousands and thousands of patients at cost of millions, and what drug company would fund this? Yet there are good explanations for why these supplements could work. They have other beneficial effects and don't have side effects unless you overdo it. So I'm going to carry on taking them. I will try to continue to eat well and exercise because the mind and physical body are entwined, and looking after our physical health will help look after our mental well-being. But if you're worried about your mental health, please speak to your GP. Sometimes we need more than supplements and healthy living to tackle this awful condition. And there we go. What did you think of that? What are you saying about that, people? Yeah, I take vitamin D when the sun's not out. I take vitamin D every day. I also take fish oils, which I ordered some more today. I take omega-3 fish oils. And another thing I take for depression, which is very good at raising your serotonin level, is niacinamide, or niacin, which is vitamin B3, which wasn't mentioned in that that story that I read there. What's been said? People just chatting about other things there. Spanish says, whatever you gain in life as a commodity, you will not take with you but memories. Experiences and friends will travel with you on your next journey. Be nice and give love, people. You feeling all right, Spanish? It's a bit deep for you. Nice. Sean's Hammer says, we must realize we already have the winning cards. Unprogrammable black sheep warriors. Nice one, Sean. I like that. Chris is back. I don't know where he's been, but he's back. Maybe he popped to Asda in his Mazda. That's what he normally does. A Spanish Chicken says, depression is mainly got from watching TV, feeling worthless because you got fecal, fuck your TV out the window and go and chat with a friend. If you can find friends, I find it really hard. I consider the people that watch this show and support this show as friends, but they're all spread throughout the country. But it's not easy, especially men. I've met a couple of people and we've exchanged, like if I've been out and I've been chatting to someone, like if my partner's wild swimming or whatever, and I've chatted to some people, and I had a guy the other day, he said, oh, you're really interested. He said, do you mind if I take your number and everything? I said, yeah, let's get, we can go out for a beer or something. Never heard from him again. I messaged him a couple of times, nothing, Same thing happened when I was around my mum's. I think it must be my deodorant. The guy who was fixing my mum's gate, I started chatting to him about stuff and everything. And he said the same thing. Oh, should we have a little chat? Yeah. We'll meet up if you want. But, you just don't know what people's lives are, do you? You don't know how busy people are in their life. I think you're right, Sean. I'm sure I heard the NHS is the third biggest employer in after the Chinese military and some other cluster of demons. Yeah, absolutely right. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think we've caught up with the chat. Yeah. Right. How about we do a little? I think I've done all the stories. Let me just check. Yeah, I've done that one. Yeah, I've done that one, and I've done that one, and I've done that one. Well, yeah, we've caught up. My God, it's gonna be a shorter show than normal. Not that so. It's quiz time. Absolutely, Kitty. It's quiz time. Who was an MI5 plant? He was an MI5 plant, Robert. Who was, Chris? Sorry, did I miss that? Who was an MI5 plant? I'm genuinely wanting to know. Time for a funny dance. Are you gonna do a funny dance, Gonzo? And don't forget, you can catch up with Pete and Cookie tomorrow on the Wednesday. Pete always puts a great compilation together at the beginning of the show. That's where I got inspired. Oh, Ike. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I got inspired to do my start of my show by Pete, because that's how he starts his Wednesdays. Yeah, if you like that, if you like the start of the show, well, I haven't had any negative responses from it, so I'll do more of that. I'll start the shows more like that, with some compilation stuff from different sources. I scan Telegram quite a lot, and I get some videos, and I download them, and I can upload them here. So yeah, right. Should we do a little quizzy then? I think so. I think so. Screen share. Here we go. It's the usual one that we go to. So answers on the postcard, please. So today we're going to go for entertainment. We're going to pick entertainment. Is that all right with everyone? Entertainment? Everyone all right with that? Let me just see. Yeah, Spanish. Let's get light-hearted. Absolutely Spanish. Yeah, life is difficult enough and serious enough. Let's have a bit of light-heartedness. You know. Kitty says, if you do a funny dance, Robert, Chicken will see your boobies bouncing. See, you're just all obsessed with them. I know you are. I know you are. Yes, right. Entertainment. Okay. Let's do entertainment then. Here we go. Click. Here we go then. The Mysterious Tale of Robinson Crusoe was written by who? And it's not the World Health Organization. The Mysterious Tale of Robinson Crusoe was written by A. Gaston Leroux, B. Mary Shelley, C. Charles Dickens, or D. Daniel Defoe. Spanish Chicken's going for D. I'm going to go for no. Mary Shelley was yeah. I think Mary Shelley was Frankenstein or something like that, wasn't it? I don't know. So Gonzo's going for Defoe. So it's D. Oh, Rich T. Hello, Rich T. Rich T's going, and Ninja James is going for D as well. Ninja James has come out of the closet there. Nice to see Ninja James. I think it looks like you could all be right. We'll try it. We'll start with A. No. Mary Shelley? No. Was it Charles Dickens? No, it wasn't. It was Defoe. You were all right. H.G. Wells' novel, first published in 1895, The What Machine. Oh, come on. This is too easy. Come on. This is way too easy. Was it A, washing, B, time, C, mean, or D, clean? Come on. We all know the answer. Kitty, did you really say D? You did say D. You said D, Kitty. The what machine? The clean machine. Ah, dear. Yes, we all know what the answer is. It's the time machine. There we go. Okay. What is the name of the heroine in Pride and Prejudice? Is it A, Miss Bingley? Is it B, Elizabeth Bennet? Is it C, Emma Woodhouse? Or is it D, Daisy Buchanan? What is the name of the heroine in Pride and Prejudice? Is it Miss Bingley, Elizabeth Bennet, Emma Woodhouse, or Daisy Buchanan? Answers on the postcard, please. Right. James is saying, Chris is saying B. James is saying C. Spanish is saying fuck knows. Gonzo is saying C. Yeah, you see, you're all struggling with this one. Who reads that shit, says Spanish. Kendo saying Miss Smart Ass. I think you mean Bingley. Mia Khalifa. Well, yeah, okay. Ready? Right, okay. I'm going to give you the answer. So, go away. Is it A? No. Is it D? No. Is it C? No, it's B. Who got it right? Who said B? Who said B? Rich T. Manda said B. Oh, Manda knew. She knows. English degree. Smart. Arse. So there we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we know then. All right. There we go. Metallica are best known for performing what kind of music? Oh, God. This is easy. Okay. Metallica are best known pop, heavy metal, grunge, or country. Pop, heavy metal, grunge, or country. We all know what this. We all know what it is. Yeah. Spanish Chicken says B. Kitty says B. Laura Klonoff says B. Kendo says B. Rich T says B. Yeah, I think we all know. I think we know it's B, don't we? Here we go. Correct, Amundo. Question 5. Who was the famous singer, son of Gladys Love Smith? Oh, who was the famous singer, son of Gladys Love Smith? Was it A, Elvis Presley, B, Roy Orbison, C, John Lennon, or D, Buddy Holly? That's not an easy one. Who was the famous singer, son of Gladys Love Smith? Elvis Presley, Roy Orbison, John Lennon, or Buddy Holly? A, B, C, or D? Miss Blue Sky says no idea. Spanish says B, Roy Orbison. Chris says B. Gonzo says A, Elvis Presley. James says B, Roy Orbison. Kitty says B. Okay, let's try. Let's go for the answer then. Is it A, Elvis Presley? Oh, it was Elvis Presley. I didn't know that. The Pretenders song, Don't Get Me Wrong, was written with which tennis player in mind? Well, I didn't know this. Was it A, John McEnroe, B, Jimmy Connors, C, Steffi Graf, or D, Martina Navratilova? The Pretenders song, Don't Get Me Wrong, was written with which tennis player in mind? A, John McEnroe, B, Jimmy Connors, C, Steffi Graf, or D, Martina Navratilova. Don't get me wrong. They were great at Glastonbury. She's got a great voice still. I was really impressed by her voice. Worth a watch if you like a bit of Pretenders. Definitely worth a watch. She was very good. Right, so Kendo's saying D, Martina Navratilova. Rich T is saying B, Jimmy Connors. Spanish says no idea. Kitty says B, Jimmy Connors. I'm going to say it's A because he was the one. Everyone's going, so no one's going. Oh, David's gone for A. Yeah, I'm going to go with David A because John McEnroe was. You cannot be serious. So let's see who was right. Is it Martina Navratilova? No. Is it Steffi Graf? No. Is it Jimmy Connors? I was right. It's McEnroe. Endless Love was a duet between Lionel Richie and which other artist? Was it A, Aretha Franklin, B, Diana Ross, C, Elton John, or D, Mariah Carey? I know the answer to this. Endless Love was a duet between Lionel Richie and who? Is it A, Aretha Franklin, Diana Ross, Elton John, or Mariah even Carey? Answers on the postcard, please. Rich T says B. Spanish says B. Miss Blue Sky says B. James Owen says A. Gonzo says B. Kitty says B. And Sean says the festivals are MK Ultra experimental camps. I know, Sean, but I still love a bit of Glastonbury. You just, if you know that though, Sean, you know it's fine. You know, You've got your wits about you. You know, you're just looking for those. You're looking for those signs, man. That pyramid stage sign. Right, okay. The answer was Diana Ross. On screen, with which Oscar-winning actor played the natural father of Superman? I know the answer to this as well. Is it A, Richard Pryor, B, Gene Hackman, C, Marlon Brando, or D, Robert Vaughn? On screen, which Oscar-winning actor played the natural father of Superman? Sean said, if you know it and still consume it, who's to blame for keeping it going? Me, Sean. You're right. I'm guilty. You're right. You're right. But none of us are perfect in life, Sean. You know, we just do our best, don't we? You know, but I appreciate what you're saying. You're absolutely right there. So Kitty's saying it's C. Kendo's saying it's C. Rich T's saying it's C. Gonzo's saying it's C. James says it's C. Did you sing Jeremy Corbyn? Says Spanish. No, I didn't, mate. I just go along and go and have and enjoy the acts and stuff. It's not just about music at Glastonbury. It's a festival of performing arts, and there are some amazing people there performing their art. There's circus tents, there's comedy tents, there's all sorts of things. It's not just about the music. I don't know if Sean's ever been, but it isn't just about music. Right. So yes, the answer was Marlon Brando. Question 9 out of 10. Okay. Who fronted the 60s pop group The Pharaohs, remembered best for their hit Wooly Bully, Wooly Bully, Wooly Bully, Wooly Bully? Was it A, Stan the Man, B, Fred the Fraud, C, Dave the Drunk, or D, Sam the Sham? I think I know who this could be. I'm guessing again, though. Who fronted the 60s pop group The Pharaohs, remembered best for their hit Wooly Bully? Was it A, Stan the Man, B, Fred the Fraud, C, Dave the Drunk, or D, Sam the Sham? David, Sean, it's good to wake people up. Yeah, absolutely. Gonzo says D. Kendo says D. Kitty saying D. Spanish says he ain't that old. That's a lie. Come on. Who fronted? What was the name of the person who fronted the band Ferrers, who had the hit Wooly Bully? James Owen he doesn't know. Rich T saying A. Okay, so I'm going to go for A myself as well, Rich T, because I don't know this, but I'm going to go for A. Oh, it was wrong. Is it B? No. It can't be Dave the Drunk. Yeah, it's Sam the Sham. Who said D? Who got that right? Who said D? Kitty said D. Gonzo said D. Kendo says D. Oh, Kendo's it's Kendo's era, you see. He knows a lot about old songs because he's not very old himself, you see. I think we're on the last question 10. Here we go. Which singer was backed by the Dakotas? Was it A, Dion, B, Billy J. Kramer, C, Brian Poole, or D, Desmond Decker? Which singer was backed by the Dakotas? Was it Dion, Billy J. Kramer, Brian Poole, or Desmond Decker? I must admit, I don't know the answer to this. I know what answer it isn't. There's one I know what it isn't, but I don't know. So who are you saying, everyone? Right. Spanish is saying B, Billy J. Kramer. Rich T is saying Earache is saying A, Dion. Sean says waking up or wising up, only one is beneficial, the other is a Masonic trap. Yep. Spanish Chicken says B. Rich T says B. Gonzo says B. Earache says B. Kendo says B. Kitty says D. And here we go then. Last answer then. Is it A? No. Is it Billy J. Kramer? I think it probably is. It was. There you go. We got 67 points. Well, it wasn't really, but there you go. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our quiz and our show for today. I'm going to put the link in and say to you, lovely people, thank you for joining me today. Yeah, Desmond Decker did the Israelites, didn't he? Spanish. Thanks for joining me today. It's been a great show. I've enjoyed presenting it and chatting amongst you fellow people contributing to the show, because it is you that helps me not just sit here chatting to this image of myself that I see in my computer screen. Where have the jokes gone, Robert? No. I'm not going to do any jokes. I'll do some jokes next week, maybe. No, yeah, I'll do some jokes next week. You know, well, maybe just one or two. Look, okay. Let's just pull out the shit jokes, right? Just fly them out. Ready? Okay. I bought 2 liters of correction fluid yesterday. Huge mistake. My girlfriend is on a tropical fruit diet. She filled the entire house with fruit. It's enough to make her mango crazy. At first, I refused to believe my mother was stealing from the motorway. But when I got home, all the signs were there. My aunt has never smoked a day in her life. She normally gets tired around dusk. The caretaker at my work climbed to the top of the big tree outside and invited me to join him. I refused. I don't get on with high maintenance people. Okay, last one. A man walks into a bar with a newt on his shoulder. The barman says, "We don't get a lot of those in here. What's his name?" "Tiny," says the man. "Why Tiny?" "Because he's my newt." There we go. Yes. Blame Sid Finch for that. It is my book of shit jokes. And also blame Kitty for encouraging me to tell some crap jokes as well. I'm pasting it in once more time. Oh, Mick H is here, so it's nice to see Mick. He's already sitting in the back there. Yeah, if you are going to join us, try and in the after show. You don't have to show your face. You don't even have to speak, but try and do some typing in the chat just to like say that you're there and maybe some interaction. What's Sean saying here? Sean is saying, "I'm far too real for the fake as fuck world, according to man. So I just sit carrying being what I am, in spite of my psyop war crap they shove in our faces." The intro was good, Rob. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it, Sean. Thank you very much. He said intro there. There you go. Better than the outro. Cheers, everyone. Please like the show. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And apparently I have a lot of people from America. I looked at my stats watching this show, weirdly. So thanks again. I'll see you all in the chat of other people's show. And don't forget, Cookie and Pete tomorrow. Steve the Tagoose on Thursday. and Jimmy on Saturday night, unless things change. All right. Nice to see you all again. Nice to chat to you. God bless. Take care. And remember, they may come as good as you, but they don't come any better. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.